Hello. I have a zit on my neck. That's how my day is going. I hope you're doing great. Today I wanted to talk to you about how to not hate your makeup. How to love your makeup, maybe? No, double negatives. How to not hate your makeup. I feel like there's a distinction there. I'm making this video for me. I need it right now. Not today, not today. Today, I actually really like my makeup. However, I've been in a place where I haven't been liking my makeup, okay? I sit down and I just start going and I hate it. I hate it. So if you are feeling at all aligned with that, this video is for you, okay? Number one, you have to have a plan, okay? Have a plan, all right? Take a second to think about it and have a plan. What does that mean? What does having a plan mean? If you are a beginner, okay? Here's a scenario. If you're a beginner, you are a person who has acne, okay? Focus on just a couple or a few products. Have a focus, all right? You're a beginner, you have acne. Foundation, okay? You want to cover up your acne. Not saying everybody has to cover up their acne, of course, but typically that's what people are trying to accomplish, right? So maybe you pick a couple, pick a couple products. Foundation to even your skin tone and cover up some of your acne. Maybe you choose a bronzer to bring some of the life, the warmth, and the shape back to your face after your foundation, okay? Maybe you're like me, maybe you have dark circles. Maybe you focus on concealer and blush. So you conceal those dark circles with a little bit of concealer, obviously, maybe a couple of little spot concealing moments, and then you go in with a blush to once again bring a little bit of life back to the face, okay? A little bit of color. Maybe you just want to enhance. Maybe you don't have dark circles, maybe you don't have acne, but again, you're a beginner and you just want to do a little bit of enhancing. Maybe your focus is a little bit of blush or bronzer to bring color and shape to the face, and mascara. You want to make those eyes pop, okay? Have a plan, all right? Figure out what is it that I'm trying to achieve right now? What am I trying to achieve? Do I need to conceal my dark circles? Do I want to cover up my acne? Do I want to make my eyes pop? What's the goal here? Why am I even wearing this makeup? If you're a little bit more advanced, then I would suggest focusing on number one, either a shape, okay? We'll get into that, or a color palette. Now, when I say a shape, this is going to apply to both not only your eyes, but also your face, right? But I'm going to use eyes as an example first. Are you trying to achieve a cat eye? Do you want to create more of a lift to the eye? Or are you trying to create more of a halo eye? Do you want something a little bit more rounded? Are you just trying to sculpt out your eye socket? Do you want a one and done eyeshadow look? Okay? What's the shape that you are trying to achieve? Is it going to be like this? Is it going like this? That's one place that you can start. What's the shape? And then you can go from there. When I'm talking about color, when I'm talking about a color palette, what's the outfit that you're wearing? Are you wearing a bright red dress? Are you wearing all neutral? Okay. Are you wearing like black and white checkered pants? All of that is going to inform how you do your makeup. All right. If you're wearing an extremely colorful outfit, maybe you want to make your makeup a little bit more on the neutral side so it's not overwhelming. Maybe you're wearing a little black dress, you want to do just like a red lip. You want a little bit of a pop. Maybe you're wearing like all taupes or something and you want to go a little bit crazy with the makeup, which also looks fantastic with all black, just saying. Are you going to do a monochrome look? Do you want your lips, your cheeks, your eyes to all kind of work together? Are you going complementary colors? Do you want to wear like a green kind of teal color on the eyes and then have maybe more of like a strawberry watermelon kind of color on the lips? Or are you going neutrals for the whole face? Okay, so have a color palette in mind. You can start with either one of these. As a more advanced makeup wearer, start with a shape, start with a color. They're gonna work together, but you want a jumping off point, okay? You want a jumping off point to jump off from. Duh. Next up, you want to choose your products ahead of time, okay? If you have a little area where you do your makeup, if you have like a vanity or if you have like a desk or something, choose your products ahead of time. Now, if you're a beginner and you only have a few products, because like I said, you're someone who has dark circles and all you have is concealer and a little bit of blush, don't worry about this, okay? If you're more advanced, you want to lay everything out beforehand. Here's a blush I really want to use. It's more of a coral color. It's probably not going to work super well with this like extremely cool toned, more gray eyeshadow palette that I have been thinking about using. Consider the colors that you're choosing for your eyeshadow. Are they going to work with your blush shade? Is your blush shade going to work with your lip color? Okay, if I'm using like a peachy, warm, muted lip color, but then I want to use the Patrick Ta, you know, what is this called? Just Enough blush. This is a very like blue toned pink. It's not gonna go well with like an extremely peachy color, all right? If I have like a lot of orange or more yellow tone coming through. For instance, what I'm wearing on my lips today, you can see is a very nice nude, and it does have like some warmth in it, but there is a pale pink in the very center that works with this color, which I used on the tops of my cheekbones, along with a more peachy colored blush to make sure that everything was working together, because I knew that my eyeshadow today was going to reflect both cool and warm tones. There's coral, there's like a cool toned pink, there's a little bit of a teal in there. So I wanted to make sure that everything was uniform. Next is skin prep. Skin prep is so important. I know a lot of people probably get sick of hearing this, but you can choose the coolest makeup products, all right? And have like an amazing color palette, or like have your shape figured out. What, like, are you doing graphic liner? Maybe you have like an amazing new liner that you want to play with. If you start going in with foundation, with your blush, with your eyeshadow primer, and you have not prepped your skin, you're gonna have a bad time. It's not gonna be a fun time. For example, I feel like I'm always on a skincare journey, but I have been adjusting my exfoliants, my chemical exfoliants. My skin is readjusting. A couple days ago, I did my makeup and I didn't really prep. I just kind of like put my moisturizer on. I forgot about everything. I wasn't thinking about it. I was just kind of like going through the motions. And as I was doing my makeup, I realized that I was just like peeling so badly on my chin. And I was like, why didn't I do something about this? With that in mind, today, I just got prepared a little bit earlier. I did a sheet mask for like maybe 10 minutes while I was walking around making coffee and all of that stuff, okay? Like multitasking so that I'm not, you know, creating too many steps for myself. Just a little sheet mask, did my skin prep as usual, and made sure to pay close attention before I started applying my foundation. So do I need primer? Do I need a little bit more moisture in this area? And today, I don't know if you can see, nothing's changed. Still using the chemical exfoliants, still adjusting, but my foundation is laying so beautifully because I took the time to really prep my skin. Look at that. My chin looks fabulous. I hope, at least. Yeah, no, it looks good. Skin looks good. If you're someone who has dry skin and you have some flakes, maybe you want to do a light exfoliation. One of the things that I love using before I do my makeup is the First Aid Beauty lactic acid. It's lactic and glycolic acid exfoliating pads. It's super gentle. One side is kind of like perforated, a little perforated? Is that the word? It has like a little bit of a texture, but it's still very, very gentle. It's great for just kind of like doing a very, very gentle exfoliation to the skin before applying things like mists and toners and moisturizers and stuff. But if you feel like you just need to remove a little bit of the dead skin cells without stripping your skin, really great product for that. Obviously, if you're dry, you're going to need hydration, okay? This doesn't necessarily mean that you need a hydrating primer, but it does mean that you just need to like pay a little bit of close attention to your skin prep. If you have dehydrated skin, maybe it means applying another thin layer of moisturizer after letting your skincare sink in for a little while, and then letting that sink in a little bit more. Make sure that you're allowing your skincare to really like absorb before you're doing your makeup, so it's not just like sitting on top of your skin. Obviously, if you're oily, you still need to moisturize. Maybe you need to do a little bit of exfoliation, same as the dry skin. Maybe you do need to use a mattifying primer. Just consider your skin type, consider the state of your skin before you start. Even if all you're doing is eye makeup, maybe you're someone who doesn't like wearing foundation, you don't like wearing concealer, you don't wear anything on your face, but you love wearing mascara and like eyeliner, maybe you're like kind of an edgy vibe, you know? If you just put a little bit of prep into your skin, even still, just like a little bit of skincare, it makes such a massive difference. It makes your complexion overall look brighter and more even. My next tip is to be delicate. This is like a comment that I get from you guys a lot, is that my application is very delicate. Now, sometimes it's not. Sometimes I forget. Sometimes I'm just going through the motions. I'm on autopilot, okay? and I just like can't be bothered. And that's when I end up applying too much. And then things end up looking cakey, or they just look muddy, or I just have a difficult time blending, which I'll be honest with you, it doesn't really happen that often. Pat myself in the back. But it's a lot easier to be gentle and use smaller amounts of product, because that way you're not going in with too much immediately. If you go in with too much immediately, it's a lot harder to remove it, especially once you have your base on. If you've already done your foundation and your concealer and you've powdered, and then all of a sudden you go in with like way too much blush, or way too much contour, or way too much bronzer, then it's like, what do I do? With a cream, it can be a little bit easier because you're still working with your liquids. You can go back in with your foundation, but you don't want to be building up too much product, You're just going to end up making way more work for yourself. So be gentle, okay? If you have a hard time with being gentle, when you're holding a brush, do not hold it all the way up here and be pouncing on your face like this. Hold it way back. Make sure that you're holding it back and you're doing really, really light motions, okay? My final piece of advice is to take your time. I love to take my time. It's my favorite thing. I love getting ready, okay? I will block out anywhere from an hour to 3 hours. Depends on what I'm doing, obviously. Depends on where I'm going, okay? And how much I want to put into it. But I love getting ready. I am making the time for it. If you have to, wake up a little bit earlier, okay? Wake up 10 minutes earlier. If you are someone who never skin preps and you're like, why is my makeup looking horrible? It's laying on my skin horribly. I'm getting caking, all of that stuff. 10 minutes, girl. 10 minutes, okay? 15 maybe. Do a little sheet mask. Put a little extra into your skin prep. Maybe just make a little bit extra time for you so you're not rushing in the morning to go get, to get ready. And then you end up like getting mascara all over your lower lash line, and then you're panicking and you're running around and you're like trying to fix it, which, by the way, if you ever get mascara anywhere, unless it's waterproof, just let it dry. Scrape it off with like a spoolie or like a little tight, densely packed brush. You'll be fine. When I say make time for it, I don't just mean waking up early. I don't just mean like before you go somewhere, make the time to do your makeup, which obviously the more time you have and you're not rushing yourself, the better it's going to turn out, because you are not feeling that pressure that like, I have to go in 10 minutes, I also mean experiment, okay? Make time for yourself to play around. This is something that I loved when I first started doing my makeup and trying to like learn and experiment. I would go to work. Well, I would do my makeup before I went to work, but I would come home at the end of the day and like play on top of what I was already wearing. Just like play around, literally. I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna wash it off. Who cares? It's just makeup. It washes off. So I would play around with different techniques. I liked doing really like artistic, kind of like Halloween-y type special effects looks, which obviously like you don't have to do if you're just like a regular, your everyday makeup wearer. But in an evening or something, maybe it's a Friday or a Saturday night and you're not doing anything. You're just chilling at home. Put on a podcast or put on a show or put on some music and just sit down and play around with what you have. The more you experiment, the more you practice, the more you make mistakes, the more comfortable you will become with your makeup. And that means that when you do sit down to actually like do it for real and go somewhere, there's gonna be so much less pressure on you to get it right. Because you've already played, you've already made mistakes, you've already messed around. You have the experience and you know what could go wrong. The more you use something, the more you do something, the more comfortable you're going to be around it and the less likely you will be to make mistakes. I don't know why I'm holding this mascara. I did use it today. Buxom. Shout out. Thank you for attending my TED Talk, my PSA. I just wanted to give some tips because I know that we all kind of like get into a rut, or maybe we're beginners, or maybe we're just like on autopilot and we just like have forgotten to kind of like wake ourselves up, Sometimes you gotta reset. You need some reminders. So I hope that this was helpful to anyone who has been in a place where I have been, where you have just been feeling like you don't know what you're doing, or you're not prepared, or you're just hating the way things are turning out, whether it's because you haven't planned ahead of time or your skin is in a state. If you enjoyed this video, then please subscribe and comment and like and all of those things. Leave me a comment down below if you think that I missed anything or if there's anything that you would add to this list. I would love to know where you are right now. Like, are you hating your makeup? Do you love it? Are you feeling inspired? I feel like it's constantly this. I'm constantly like oscillating between like being in a rut and being inspired. But right now I'm feeling pretty good. So yeah, thank you for watching. Let me know if there's anything specific that you want to see next. And I do have updates coming soon that I will be talking about live stream and all of that kind of stuff. Just stay tuned. Bear with me. Thank you for watching. Bye.